Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet is the
Dr. Doreen is an expert in autism.
Doreen Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet is a visionary in the field of autism. Now you can ask her questions on Ask Dr. Doreen. Okay, so we wanted to start today with a question that I promised a wonderful dad that we would deal with. He says, "Hi Shannon, our 11-year-old boy eats very, very fast at the table. He wants to leave immediately after he finishes, and he drinks all his water before eating as well. Do you have any tips or suggestions to help him eat slower and not drink the water before each meal and stay at the table after eating? And thank you."
Right. Well, those are three different things, and it's a little hard for me to advise you because I don't know the functioning level of your 11-year-old, but I will give you some ideas and suggestions. So let's separate the things that you want to deal with. One is he drinks his water before finishing his meal. The second one, that he's eating very fast, and the third one is that he wants to leave the table right away. So assume that we have to reverse those into what we want, right? So we don't want him to drink his water before finishing. That's an easy one. So what you do is you just give him a small amount of water and you keep refilling it. So you'll put a glass and you'll just give him maybe a quarter of the glass and just leave it there. And when he's finished with that, you decide when he should have another glass of water and you give him another quarter. So now it's on your schedule, not on his. And if you do this, it'll become a habit over time, and so he will only be doing sips of a quarter of a glass and not the whole thing. Okay. I think part of the reason he's doing this is perhaps that he realizes that as soon he wants to get this done so he can go back to what it was he was doing or wants to do. For instance, maybe he gets to watch TV after dinner. You have to kind of analyze what it is that he's trying to get to, because that becomes something very important that you can change his whole life by changing the schedule of that. Yeah. So for instance, assume that he is going to go and watch TV. Well, make sure that he doesn't get to go watch TV if he's gobbling up his food, finishing his water, and zooming off. Yeah. But now there's new criteria for how to get to go watch TV. The going to watch TV becomes the reinforcer, and we will now set new criteria. The water thing, just do that. That's easy. We don't want to set criteria on every aspect of this. Yeah. The second one is basically to eat slowly, okay? And that's where you need to sit with him, and essentially every bite that he takes, you can stop him. He takes a bite, you can put your hand on top of it, or another very easy way to do this is to have a very small timer, one that, like a stopwatch, not like an egg timer or something, just a stopwatch, and basically focus on his speed. So what you'll do is he'll take a bite and then you'll have him just sit while he's chewing and put maybe 5 seconds or whatever you feel is appropriate. Start with closer to what he's actually doing and gradually increase it. Like if he's, let's say, taking generally like 5 seconds right now to chew a bite, and you want him ultimately to spend 30 seconds, which is a little bit too much for a child, by the way, don't start with 30 seconds. That'll drive him crazy. Right. Start with just the 5 seconds and reward him. Just get it under it's called getting it under SD control. So you're doing what he normally does. So he'll take a bite, and you'll set the stopwatch, and it'll go off at 5 seconds, and then he can take another bite, and you'll set the stopwatch again, and it'll go after. And so you're now controlling with your watch his bites, and it's his speed. Now, the next time there's a meal, next day, you put it at 6 seconds. And you do that for a couple of days. Then the next time you put it at 8 seconds, and you gradually build it up to 15 seconds. And now you're still doing it, but you won't visibly show him the stopwatch. Maybe it'll just buzz at 15 seconds. And then, so you're gradually fading out the stopwatch so he doesn't see it anymore. And now he's learned to slow down his eating, right? And now you start to chain this. So now it's not just 1 bite and a stopwatch, now it's 2 bites or 3 bites. And so like he'll do a bite and you'll be like, good job, that's great. And you just sit there. If he attempts, block him and get him on the schedule that you want, and then you reinforce that. And now the next time you'll be reinforcing 3 or 4 bites. You're gradually shaping yourself and the stopwatch and all of your prompting out of the formula so that he is able to do it on his own. And the biggest part of this is that he should still be eating by the end of the full timer. So let's say, I don't know, let's say you want to make sure the meal lasts 10 minutes, right? And so what you'll do is you will actually have like a kitchen timer or something on the table for everyone. Or maybe what you want is to say you cannot leave the table until we're done. You have to give him some sort of visual stimulus or some sort of cue as to the length of time you want him to be at the table. And, you know, try to be fair. A lot of times kids want to finish sooner than we do. If he gets up before you've told him he can get up, he doesn't get TV or whatever activity it is that he was rushing to get to.
Right.
If he does stay within the time frame you want, he gets that activity.
Okay.
Make the time frame very short initially and then very gradually increase the time frame. Another thing that'll help you is give him foods that require a lot of chewing. I don't know what his feeding issues are, if he has any or if he's pretty good at chewing, but for instance, it's a lot harder to get through steak fast than it is, let's say, custard or something that you don't have to chew. So chewing will just make the process a little bit later.
If he's somebody already who will do that.
Absolutely, we don't want to mess with his feeding.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hey, thanks for watching Autism Live. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.